and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Workshop, where stuff comes to be repaired if it's interesting as well as if it's been manhandled. This is interesting. It's Italian tape recorder, Geloso brand. There was also a brand called LP Core, and their tape recorders had the BSR 2D2 deck, and they're okay. But these early ones, they're very nicely made, design wise, lovely, fancy curves, and you know, I even got the wheels with it here. Yeah, runs on 240 volts. What's the problem with these? They're dangerous, and so I'm going to look at this one first of all and see what we can find. First of all, they don't have a transformer in them. They have auto transformer, which is not really suitable for a tape recorder today. And of course, one of these leads was going to have to come off. I've got a proper lead down here actually to take off that cheap set, which it's okay. So I might well put this onto that, so that will come up. Now also, as well as that, with this lovely radio tape, lovely tape recorder we have here, the main switching on the bottom here, without a cover. Yeah, kid you not. And yeah, so it's certainly an interesting situation. So the question is, can we make this safe? If we can, a usable is it? The caster needs some work. I'll take that off and put it under some rubber renew. Well, I get to work on the unit. Yeah, these are an interesting item, shall we say? Very interesting, in fact. So interesting that right me about now. Now, so this one, where the circuit fell in there, I don't really know. I will have a look. But yes, so as I said, this came from Italy 2 or 3 years before a film called The Italian Job came out. So this is the real Italian Job. Talking this one, I tell you. No money involved in it, and there won't be a cut going off a cliff. But we'll have a look and see what we can find with this lovely unit. Now, first of all, I'll take the reels off, and I'll do it this way because I don't want to switch it on. Believe me, you'll know why in a minute. So they come off, right? And the unit itself is, shall we say, interesting in more ways than one. So these screws come off, these screws come out, and hopefully from that we can get it and have a look. By the way, this set also has it involves selection as well. The cord light on this is a set of valve called a DM70, which runs off 1.5 volt heaters. I think these have an ECC and a U in them as well. It's very interesting design in some ways, but in others it's something which I for one am not really happy switching this on until I've had a look round. I've got the case in here, by the way, on the microphone. Also, I think somewhere some interesting bits of paper that came, including the receipt actually. So the fact that this was dangerous by today's standards it didn't kill anyone. But in those days, of course, people knew that you didn't, you know, you didn't put things like this across the mains and put your fingers inside them. Different now, of course, because people aren't as clever. But then people, well, I don't know if it's education or what, but you know, I know where you can and can't put a tape recorder, but others, unfortunately, do not have such and such a good knowledge of the equipment concerned. So we have to make a ledge, I suppose. I wouldn't, you know, but that's me, you know. I just wouldn't, you know. I simply would not. So with them out, I think this speed switch comes off as well, doesn't it? One way or the other. Hopefully not the other, but you know, there we go. Suppose we take the this off as well, the head, make sure that isn't causing any problems. I wonder what is holding it. Ah, 2 more screws here. Let's have these out as well. Find out, take everything you can and see what comes apart. I wonder, by the way, how good these are to use. Again, it's something which I would like to know, you know. Well, because I'm not putting anything through this until I've checked it out from a safety point of view. Ah, okay, well that's off. And T-valves. We'll take that off as well. There we are. Put a new lid on it there. And what have we got here? Right, we've got a 3505, whatever that is. And some caps which probably need to be changed. There aren't any Hunt's caps in it, I don't think. I don't know how good the ones that are in it are, so we'll have to keep stum on that one for a minute. That comes away, that comes away. And then we can have a look and see what we've got here. We've got a motor, very compact design, I must say. Very compact. That won't come off with it, probably, would it? Okay, fair enough. Well, that's not coming off, is it? Right, okay, not to worry. For now, anyway. Put it on its front, take it around again, and the speaker is there. The on-off switch is here, and it appears to be a single pole as well. Gets better and better, doesn't it? And next thing I want to know, quite frankly, is whether it's switching the earth or the live, because some of them, I'm afraid, do tend to switch the earth. Yeah, I've had these before, and the main switch actually switched earth as well. So very compact, very nice looking, but not something which I would recommend for a beginner. Okay, right. Okay, in that case we'll do it with the Blythe. Let's switch it off and see what, with it on, by the way, it appears that it doesn't actually switch the earth, but these things have to be checked and checked, because of course otherwise we have problems on our hand of a kind which aren't terribly nice. That needs to come off and be looped up, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, there's a hump there. Oh well, nothing's safe, is it? Right, okay, now, therefore, now, this needs to be some sort of transformer here, don't it? This, I think, maybe the main transformer of one kind or another, and the other one, the other side, goes here. So, therefore, I get the impression that this here is probably live. Now what I will do here is probably wire it for 250 volts only and put something over that to protect it. Yeah. Yeah. Because if that goes to there and that goes to there, like so, then what about the on-off switch? What does the on-off switch do, if anything? It's a worry, isn't it? This is a tape recorder of a kind which I really don't recommend that anybody who's not suitably skilled have a go at. But you know, these things happen, and so so this one here I'll put that on there like that. So that goes to transformer, and so that is not only live but it's unswitched as well. So I think what we must do here first of all is sort out the cables and where they go, and maybe change the switching so that it's not going to be quite such a problem. So at this point, I think in this case the thing to do is to get hold of the circuit for this. Very nicely designed, but potentially lethal piece of equipment. Yeah, that's why I like it, you know. And see what we can do with it, and try and make it safe. We can make it safe, don't worry about that. But how we're going to do it is something which at the moment does rather elude me somewhat. It really, really does. Anyway, I'll get the circuit and have a look. We'll look at the circuit together. I've got hold of it or something similar, and we'll decide where we can go from there. This is a unit which I want to get going because they're quite rare. This is quite a nice one, but whether it's going to be a usable unit or a shelf queen, we don't yet know. But we'll know soon. I promise you that. Right. Well, now the tape recorder is out of the way for a minute because I'm going to talk briefly about the circuit, because this circuit is it won't pass muster today, let's put it that way, and I'm surprised it did then, quite frankly. If you look at the circuit here, you see there, plug comes in there, and it is in fact a single coloured cable with a European plug on the end, like so, and that goes up to the switch, which is on the neutral side actually, or the live, depending on, but it's going to be the neutral. It's going to, at the moment, that is going to be what I call the neutral side. Yeah. The other side, however, if this plug is in the wrong way around, this, which is accessible from the bottom of the unit, will be live. Also, even with the unit switched off here, all this inside will be live, all of it. The other way around, then this will be live, and if one of the buttons gets pressed as well, all the chassis will be live. So every way around you have it at the moment, this is not going to be usable. No way, Jose. So it has to be changed straight away. The switch and the mains cable here are going to be the other way around in that part of the unit. This is going to go on the place with normal cable and a 13 amp plug before we do anything else. Also, the capacitors in this, by the way, are all the Geloso parts. If they're okay, I'm going to leave them because they do look good, and so anything like that I'm going to leave. Also, this unit does not have a EO41 in, by the way. It has a 36D6 or something like that. It's a similar sort of valve, Well, this is technically the same sort of circuit. DM70 there is the Magic Eye. Only 1.5 volts heater on these, by the way. Like a sort of exclamation mark. And you'll see that later on. The 041, of course, or whatever, that's the output stage on playback, and of course on record it doubles up as an oscillator. 1287 there, that's also known as ECC83. That's inputs from the heads or the microphone or whatever through to the rest of the unit. So it works in the standard microphone tape recorder way, but yeah, also by the way with this, at the moment everything is tied to earth, but the motor and other things only actually go to us when these buttons here are pressed. So believe it or not, apart from the valves, the rest of it lies there at 240 volts until the button is pressed on the motor system, which links it to earth. So that's I'm also going to have a look at and see if we can change that as well. So for the moment, this set is this tape recorder is not exactly usable. Right, now what I've done here now is I've quite roughly for now made the deck negative and tied it to neutral. That's the neutral pin of the plug. There, that's tied to neutral, and there you are. Deck with it switched on or off, that is just to neutral. Okay, through there. Right, switch it on now. The motor spins all the time because I'm not got that switch in the way. But also with this in place now, if we put power to it, which I will very briefly, yeah, we have the HT in place, 190 volts there, and 143 on the on one of the grids, like so. Okay, now going across to AC, that is in place as well, although valves are not actually in place yet. So it's getting there. All I can say is it's getting there, which it will do. So now we can do that rather more properly and sort out the valve heaters. And the valve heaters also went to deck via this this switch here. You can see it, which is here on the circuit. I'm going to put the valve heater, take that circuit almost completely, and run the valve heaters all to deck, which is the next thing I will do. And we should hear something in the speaker, some hiss, for example. And there we are. You hear it? This hiss in the speaker. That tells me that that is okay, not microphonic. Don't tell me about that, but I'll see to that when I've finally got the main side done properly. So that's what we're up to now. I did all this to make it safe. That's all. All this was to make this safe. Before it was dangerous. Now it's safe. And the Magic Eye on these, by the way, I'll just take the speaker off so you can check and see for yourself. Before I do that, see, I can touch that quite properly now, you see. I can pull that out. Bit different, bit I'm not possibly putting a new plug on because that's dangerous. That I think not dangerous, but very hard to pull out. But if you come under here and loop, you see the recording unit on indicator on these is a small valve, like I said, called the DM70. Now a DM70 is a little unit, little known valve that is used in mostly tape records, but also on some radios. And what it does, to put not command there, you watch, is when it comes on, it's now going to do. Did before, but not now. What it is, it's a little magic eye in the form of an exclamation mark, and some reason now it's not coming up. It was before, but it's not doing now. So I don't know. Perhaps if I did. Okay, no, okay, fair enough. It's got to do it for us. It did just then, but not now. This is quite common with sets of this era, so you know, have a look and find out why that's not coming on, and I'll take it out for you and get it on for you just to check a little bit later on. But at the moment, it's not doing it, so we need to know why it's not doing it. I think I do know actually, but these things have to be checked, don't they? So I'll take the speaker out if I can, and sometimes when you've only got one hand, things are a bit difficult to remove first time, which is why I sometimes do things off camera. That's not for coming, is it, that? Not for coming, that, is it? Oh well, these things are sent to trials. I think I've got it. There you go, come up, there you go, off that speaker out of the way. I'll put that back down, out of the way. And I'll see that bloody car works now. And now it works. How about that? So now I can show you the magic eye. It's very small on these, but it does actually work, and it works to show that the unit is on, and also to record level and playback level as well. That's the magic eye. These valves, by the way, these are wire ended, and because they're only 1.5 volts, they are in fact quite easy to blow. So something they have to look out for. Anyway, at this point, off again. We need to look very carefully at capacitors, one in particular. So find that, and I'll come back to you. Now, I've looked at the valves in this again, by the way. The one that didn't come out, isn't out, is a 12AX7, which is an ECC83. And the other one, as you know, is a 35D5, which is not a pentode, but a beam tetrode. Slightly different. I'll tell you the difference in a minute, although they are in most cases swappable, shall we say. Anyway, with sets of this kind, beam tetrodes or pentodes, the first grid, of course, must have on it, as we all know, AC audio, but not DC, which is filtered off by this capacitor here, Mark 3K. That's Italian numbering, by the way. 3K is in fact 3000 puff, which is of course basically about 0.3, I think it's something like 0.3 microfarads. Now that actually means that it doesn't matter, because all it is a DC block. It's this capacitor here. Now before I carry on, let's have a quick look first of all at the valve itself, which is there. Okay, now this is a 35D5, as I said, and a 35D5 is a valve which was only made in Italy, and like I said, by this time most 8-pot valves which were pentodes, but this was a triode. Pins 1 and 9 on this valve are the first grid, which of course has supposed to have 0 volts on it. This one probably has rather more actually, but we'll come to that, because that capacitor needs to be changed. Now this valve 35D5, they are available, but they are expensive, and so, but what you can do is you can fit, if you know how, if you've got time and patience, especially patience here, you can fit an EL84 or an EL85. EL85 is cheaper and it might be better for this job actually, but basically this has a 35 volt heater, so the UL84 will not go because that's a 45 volt heater. So what you can do if you're going to fit an EL84 or 85 is take away the heater that's on it and take the heater from the 12AX7 stroke ECC83 and use that, because they're all that wired in this as 6.3 volts. The ECC83 stroke 12AX7 of course has the two in parallel, 9 to deck and 4 and 5 together, so they are in parallel on this one, so that's something else to watch for. Okay, anyway, this machine, the problem with an normal tetrode was a kink in the 8-pot, yeah, and this was put right first of all by Philips, by producing a third grid tied to deck, which was the suppressor grid. But they put a patent on that in 1931, and so other people such as EMI wanted another way, and they came up with a beam tetrode which replaced the third grid with those which focused the beam onto the 8-pot in the same sort of a way. Now there are differences with the beam tetrode or the kinkless tetrode as it was known to the pentode, but in most cases they don't really matter. So a beam tetrode and a pentode will do in the same way, quite simply. But this one, these 35D5s, they are made, but they're a bit expensive. The 65, they're $16 plus package and posting on eBay, and they're still about, but they're a bit costly. This one, by the way, and the 12AX7 here, that's Geloso's own manufacture, or manufacturing for Geloso anyway. So now, with that in mind, we take the 35D5 out again, like so, and we then look at we then plug it in, and what I'm looking for here is which one of those two pins is the one that has the has a voltage on it, because the voltage on it should not be there, but it's there because the capacitor inside where it should go is leaky. So fire it up like so, and look at that pin and also at that pin, and one of them should have on it at some stage Mm-hmm. Very little actually, virtually zero, so that cap might be okay. So the next thing we'll do therefore is take that off like that, look for the capacitor and check and make sure that it is the one in question. Now it's actually under here, it's that one there. If it's okay, I'm going to leave it, because getting to that to change it would be like, you know, no thank you. So that now goes onto there, and this now goes onto here, and hopefully that this should ministry shots. If it does, we've found it. Or not, as the case may be. So anyway, the other side of it, this cap, by the way, comes out here. So there should be, therefore, if we switch it on, volts on here, but not on the other side of it. No, so it goes down here, and it goes to something on here, don't know which one, and at the other end. So one of these caps is the one that's got the yeah. So I'll have a look and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, well at this stage I've looked for the capacitor in question, the capacitor for the 8-put beam test rod on this, and surprisingly it's fine. Because of where it is in the circuit, I'm going to leave it where it is and not touch it. Sometimes discretion is a better sort of valor. Prudent, yes. Engineering wise, maybe not, but it's prudent and it works, so I'm going to leave it where it is for now. Which means now we're going to look at the deck itself. Clean it thoroughly, and of course also I noticed the capstan wheel has got a dint in it here, because this unit, if you leave it like that, you see, that somebody's done, it leaves the capstan engaged like that, you see, which means therefore that you've got to, when you leave it with the white button pressed, and that will then not leave the capstan pressed against the idler. So what I'll do now, give it a clean. It doesn't need that much actually. It says do not oil, so I will not oil it. That's the speed control there. Like you see, so that goes from one side to another. Voila. So now it's a case of clean everything up and make it reasonably tidy under here, and then from there we've got this obscure unit working. By the way, this is the DM70. It's a, like I said, 1.5 volt valve and an exclamation mark type valve. Again, this is a Geloso type. Well, I don't really make Geloso valves, but I'm going to put the original ones in back on. But that valve has to be handled very carefully, because it's the rare, and it's 1.5 volts. So I'll keep my eye open for that. Well, I'll look at the unit and sort out what's what. First of all, it said do not oil, so I'm not going to go oil it. But what I'm going to do is give it a good dose of a rag and get as much muck off as I can. Also, the head needs to be cleaned here, and the capstan needs to be oiled as well down here. Not oiled, but you know, treated as it were. So I have to do. And also, this belt is rather weak here. What I might do here is possibly take that valve and do that belt and do something rather nasty with it to get it working again. Because getting that off is going to be a job all in itself. You know something? Italian tape recorders, nice design on the outside, but inside, it's not one for a beginner. Believe you me, it's not. Right, now I've got that reel going on. All that does, by the way, is a take up and nothing else. There's no fast forward on this, only fast rewind. So that is just to take up for play, nothing more. Rewind, of course. There you are. By the way, it does actually pull, and I have rewinded tape on it as well. Now with these units, by the way, speed of things like rewind and everything else varies with the setting of the speed control, because everything is done through this wheel here. Okay, to that one, to rewind, and to playback, through there, and through there. I've got a problem with playback, and I don't know quite how I'm going to sort it yet, but what I might have to do is take that wheel off and do something interesting with it, because this unit was put away, switch to play like that. Now that means therefore that was actually set like that, and it's actually managed to make a dent in it there, you see, the idler. So I put a tape in, which I could do for you now actually, and what happens is it goes a little bit of the way and stops because of it, which I'll show you now. So put the really Phillips tape on and thread it through like so. Bit fiddly these, but you know, we always manage, you know, and we'd put that through there and wind it on, which I do with it switched off, because I have to modify the motor circuit, because I want the motor to be off when for threading the tape. But there you are. Now if I put it onto play now and start it, it start playing, stop, 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 stop. Like you say, otherwise it's perfect, but that's not really much good. And that is because, getting it slowly, that is because of that wheel having a dent in it. And the dent always goes in and hold the thing steady like that. So that's the next thing to do, is get that wheel off and sort out the dent somewhere. I might boil it or something like so, something awful actually, and put it back on. See, it nearly does it. Nearly does it. Not far off, as you can hear. Actually, I believe it might actually sort itself out, but I don't know. But I will actually try and take that off and do something with that. Then, of course, hopefully the thing will function on both speeds. If I go to a small speed, by the way, again, the same thing occurs, like that. The faster one, it does manage sometimes to see the problem? I've been and I've boiled the wheel and I've done everything to it, but I can't get rid of the kink completely. I need a new wheel, which I've not got. I am placing an order for some cassette wheels, capstan wheels, and I'll try putting one of those on in a future video. But for now, I'm going to leave it as it is. So basically, the wheel, what it does, basically, it starts off okay, but doesn't carry on okay, as you will see there. So it's working, but not terribly well. And it should come up at some stage, start to play. There we are. Like that. The reason why I've done that, by the way, pull it off that way, is that this machine doesn't stop, even doesn't stop. So even on the start mode here, because the motor, actually the thing with this is that that time the motor would have stopped before is when the rewind was pressed, and I can't do that with it switched on, because unfortunately the thing will come off. It's a very interesting machine in a few ways. There's one or two, shall we say, errors with it, but there we go. So also this is a one-track tape, which means therefore that when I do record on it, you still hear some of the original music in the background, but we'll try our best with it. So with it warmed up, this, by the way, is the microphone, or microphone, the original Italian microphone that goes with it. It works, by the way, 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. You see? Winding off now, which I'm going to do because I'm going to put this together and clean it up. It's done as far as I can with it. I've shown you how to make it do various things, but for now I'm going to put it together and leave it until I can get hold of another wheel for it, or something which will do in its place. I've tried with this wheel. I tried all last night with it, but I couldn't get it to go in a suitable way. So you know, I have to give up and admit defeat on that for now. I will come back to it and we'll sort it. That's a promise. It's easy to do. But for now, I'm going to leave this one and put it together again, and tell you a bit about where it came from and stuff like that. So back to you in just a minute. Right, well, the thing is now back together. It does play. Actually, it plays also with the wheel the way it is. So we can actually play something when it warmed up. When the valves warm up, because of course the valve stuff does tend to want to warm up, as we well know. There you go, see. Rewind works okay, and stop, which is, yeah. There's me. Anyway, does actually work. That's it work now, but unfortunately it won't do a lot more until I get the wheel, which has been ordered, by the way, so we'll come back to it at some stage in the future. But with it, by the way, was a nice case which is down there. This for cleaning up. One side has the Geloso mark on it, which I think I think you can see there. Yeah. Also, I got a lead for recording off the radio, the microphone, and this thing. Now, back in the day, it was legal, and it's not legal now, by the way, to plug things into light fittings with things like this. These are now well and truly illegal. They were banned in 1977. But yeah, it's all part of the history of the radio, so tape recorder, so it's going to stop with it. And so for now, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll come back to it when I get the parts through for it, and finish it off, and then it'll go back on the shelf. Because really, this tape recorder now, it's nothing more than a shelf cream, really, because there are much better machines out there. and this is one which you know, was very much of its time. Geloso were an Italian make, TVs, radios and sort like, but it not, as it stood, it was not really suitable for the British market. I've rewired it inside, so now this one is, but it was quite a job. The valve replaced as well. I've kept the original because the original has the Geloso mark on it, so I'll keep that with the unit as well for completeness. And of course the 35D5 is of course an Italian made valve. So anyway, Italian tape recorder that does work, just about, and will work better in the future, but for now I'll leave this one as it is. And so until next time, goodbye, stay safe and keep fixing stuff. Bye bye and take care.